Picture this. You've poured your heart and soul into creating the perfect website for your small business, but instead of skyrocketing sales, it's actually sabotaging your own success. Now, since this is such an important topic, I knew I needed backup. So I asked my friend and fellow website coach, Josh Hall, to help me out here so that we can expose the 7 hidden traps that even savvy entrepreneurs fall for with their websites. And even better, you'll find out how to turn the tables, unlock your website's true potential, and save your business. And if you're thinking, come on, Wes, my website's not gonna make or break my business, I'm here to tell you firsthand that yes, it can. My students' businesses routinely see lifts in both traffic and conversion rates when they implement this stuff. They get more calls from people who've been to their website, and they even get clients booking appointments and consultations right from the website, and those are clients they weren't getting before that they are getting now. So yeah, the stuff's that powerful. Okay, Josh, you're the guest, so I'm gonna let you go first. What is the biggest mistake you see that holds most business websites back?
I think the biggest mistake I see nowadays, especially with small business owners, is they make a website a small book. The big thing to remember is that people scan websites, and there is a time to get very wordy and have a lot of copy and a lot of messaging and to get really detailed, but those are in forms of blog posts. When it comes to your homepage and your sales pages, brevity is key. So get to the pain points really quick, get to the benefits, and make it very clear what the offer is. If the offer is vague and people don't understand what's in it for them and what the result is, then that's a problem. And maybe you do articulate that, but it's like really far down on a page. And it's kind of like having a really good point in a book that's 300 pages in. Like, no, you want to get the point as quickly as possible to keep somebody engaged. So yeah, I would try to cut out half of the words that you have right now and just make sure it's the good stuff.
So how do you cut your homepage in half without losing any of the good stuff? Sounds like a case for ChatGPT. Within ChatGPT, just use this prompt. I'm trying to make my homepage less wordy. I'll paste what I have now and give me back a condensed version, keeping all important points, just cut out the fluff. Try to make it half as long as it is now. Are you ready for the text? When it confirms that it understands what you're going for, just paste in all the text from your page and let it do its thing. You may need to do a little bit of manual rewording to still sound like you, but you'll be amazed how good a job it's going to do all on its own. Have you heard the saying that a confused mind always says no? Yet everywhere I look, I see these websites that are unintentionally shrouded in mystery. I have no idea what the company actually does because they hide it behind vague or overly corporate language, or even worse, those generic welcome messages. This is a huge problem for these businesses because science tells us that people need to be crystal clear on what you do and how you can help them in 3 to 5 seconds. And you need to do it right up top here in what we call the hero section. Otherwise, they're not going to scroll down any further to try to solve the mysterious case of what you do. So what's the secret sauce for an irresistible hero section? First, you need a clear and concise headline that instantly communicates your unique value. Ditch the jargon and complicated phrases and just be real about what you offer. Next, complement that headline with a powerful image or visual that resonates with your audience. The best thing to do here is just use a photo that's meant to show that happy after state that your customers are in after you've helped them. And last but not least, don't forget to include a really strong call to action. Guide your visitors toward the next step, whether it's scheduling a free consultation or checking out your products. And in the spirit of being crystal clear with your prospects, there's another way that your website can drop the ball, which is
making a brand vague with who's behind it. You may be afraid to look like you're a smaller company and you want to look bigger, you want to look like an agency, or you want to look like you have a huge team. But if you don't have a huge team and you're not an agency, that's fine. Give the brand some loyalty and trust with who the heck is behind it. And one of the easiest ways you can do that is with a founder's note. It's something that I added to a sales page that I designed recently. Right after the pricing table section, there's a little section of me that just has a personal note. It's kind of my version of a founder's note that just says, hey, if you're here, you made it to the pricing table. I just want to let you know when you join, this is what to expect and this is what we're all about. So I would encourage everyone to add a founder's note to a homepage and a sales page.
That's a cool idea. It actually does solve that problem of, is this a real business? Am I going to be dealing with a real person or what? So how should somebody write a section like that?
Oh, that's a great question, Wes. My tip for writing a founder's note would be, if somebody were to ask you, why should I sign up? What would you say in a minute? And that's your founder's note.
So you're browsing the internet looking for, a lawyer, and you stumble on a website that looks pretty sleek. Then you start reading it and it feels like you're reading a legal document or an instruction manual. It's so stiff, sterile, and professional that you can't even connect with the message. So you get frustrated and you click away to continue your search. The problem here is that the website's copy failed to make that human connection. It's like meeting someone at a party who only talks in technical terms and never cracks a smile.
Say, is that your dog?
It's a dog.
Pretty soon, you're looking for an escape route. So what's the solution? Well, it's just all about using casual, friendly, and conversational copy on your website. Here's why. When your copy feels like a conversation between friends, it's easier for your visitors to relate and connect with your brand. And that connection leads to trust. It's like having a chat over coffee with a helpful friend who's got your back. Plus, as Einstein once said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Subconsciously, people will feel like you have a much better grasp on your expertise when you can put it in simple terms. Unfortunately, so many businesses feel like they need to do the opposite to prove their experience and how smart they are. So if you insist on doing the smart thing, listen to the smart guy. So when's the last time you bought anything or hired any kind of business without reading any reviews or testimonials first? Just doesn't happen anymore, right? We're pretty much hooked on testimonials, and for good reason. We need to know that others have gone before us and gotten a good result. And your clients are no different. They need to read testimonials about you too. But you know that this isn't news, but
when you put testimonials on your site, do not do what I used to do, which is to just load a huge, multi-paragraph blob of text on there, because no one's going to read that. And it's 2023 now. When you do social proof of any kind, you really have to make it, again, with this lens of scanning websites, you have to make it quick and snappy. So one thing I would recommend doing is, if a client gives you an amazing testimonial, but it's 3 paragraphs and you're like, well, this is great, but no one's going to read this, grab a little catchy sentence out of it or a little catchy headline and make that a header.
Oh, I love this. So what else can people include to make their testimonials more powerful?
Ideally, if you can, the picture of the person. That really, most people just blow right past testimonials if they're just text. So I know we've talked about this, Wes. If you can have a picture of the person, it goes such a long way. When I was putting together the sales page of my new web design membership, I got a lot of great testimonials, but it was this case exactly. They were huge paragraphs often. One of my students said she sent kind of a couple paragraphs of text, but in one of those paragraphs, he said, only join if you want you to go up to the next tax bracket. And I was like, that's a great line. But based off of everything we've talked about so far, it was hidden. It was hidden in that paragraph. So I just took it out, made it a headline. And now when you'll see her, Maggie, on that sales page, that's the headline. And then there's the rest of her testimonial.
Right after social proof and testimonials, there's another type of content that future customers and clients are definitely looking for on your site, but most businesses are really hesitant to actually include it. But if you want to increase conversions and truly put your website to work for you as your number one salesperson, you have to address pricing. If you don't, trust me, they're just going to keep looking around on your competitors' websites until they find something that helps answer those pricing questions. In other words, they're going to find what they want. So wouldn't you rather be the one that gives it to them?
I feel like a lot of people are afraid to make it really clear what their packages are. And you don't have to necessarily put your pricing depending on the service. Like in my case, for web designers, we're often offering somewhat custom pricing. So we don't necessarily want to put $5,000 or $10,000 on the homepage or a service page, but you can still articulate your packages. And the reason I say this is no matter what industry you're in, if people don't really know, number one, what you do, but like how you do it, like what the process is or what the deliverables are at least, it's a conversion nightmare, because they're like, well, I'm not even sure like how this works or what's this include. If it's like a digital marketing service, goodness, it could be everything or anything. So my recommendation on that would be to really, really get clear about your packages and your offers, and do not be afraid to put those on there clear as day. You could also always do ranges. So you could say tier 1 are typically these ranges, tier 2 these ranges, and then tier 3 is this range of price point.
And if your prices are anywhere near the high end in your niche, this next mistake could really be sabotaging your ability to charge the rates you want to. So in this video, I'll show you exactly how to easily overcome the challenge of having a cheap looking website. Because when your website lacks that pro level look, you're gonna have a hard time justifying your prices. Not to mention, the same things that can make your site look cheap can also make your business look untrustworthy too. So this is important for you in either case. So click right here and let's get you that upgrade you deserve.